This weekend, there were new allegations by both sides in the ugly family battle between Woody Allen and his stepdaughter, Dylan Farrow. This would ordinarily be a private matter, but instead it's being bitterly fought out on websites and in newspapers. Dylan's claim that Allen sexually assaulted her first arose in the early 1990s, when she was 7 years old. But it hit the headlines again a week ago when New York Times columnist Nick Kristof published an open letter from Farrow in full on the website and in part in the newspaper. Some critics, and Woody Allen himself, have faulted the Times for publishing it without a full response from Allen. Well, yesterday, Allen did get his say. The Times published his lengthy rebuttal, blasting the allegations as false and blaming former girlfriend Mia Farrow for manipulating Dylan. "I love her," he writes of his daughter, "and hope one day she will grasp how she has been cheated out of having a loving father and exploited by a mother more interested in her own festering anger than her daughter's well-being." Dylan immediately fired back, this time in The Hollywood Reporter, writing this: "Once again, Woody Allen is attacking me and my family in an effort to discredit and silence me. But nothing he says or writes can change the truth." So here's the question I'd like to explore this morning. Should the New York Times have originally published Dylan's charges without a response from Allen? The Los Angeles Times, after all, says it passed on publishing Dylan's letter. Joining me now are two reporters who've been covering this: Dylan Byers, a media reporter for Politico, and Robin Abkarian, a columnist for the Los Angeles Times. Thank you both for being here. And Robin, I want to ask you first, you wrote a column about this week where you said, Nick Kristof, this spectacle is on you. You clearly feel that the Times did not exercise proper journalistic judgment here. Spell it out for me.
Yeah, I want to say first, there are no winners in this situation. And while I think that Nick Kristof's work is very admirable, I think his judgment was clouded by giving over his column and his very valuable journalistic real estate to essentially a friend of his family, as he described the Farrows. Giving his column over to this really a cry of pain and anguish on the part of this woman who says she was abused and who many agree with, but whose father was never formally charged or prosecuted, I think has sown maximum confusion rather than clarity. And I'm not sure really what purpose was served.
Well, why do you think your newspaper, the LA Times, granted the others, another part of the paper, not the part that you work for, but why do you think they passed on publishing this open letter?
I mean, anything I say would be speculation, of course, because I don't have any correspondence with the editorial pages, but I'm assuming it's for the reasons that I found it somewhat objectionable, which is that when you have such a contentious issue between two people that really can't be resolved except in the court of public opinion, and what is that? What good does it serve allowing one party to castigate the other in public without getting a response from the other party? And now you see, with the New York Times being forced to publish Woody Allen's long, denial of molestation, we're basically back to square one.
Dylan, as you know, I used to work at the New York Times, so that's my skin in this game. But some people feel like this was more becoming of the National Enquirer than of the New York Times. Well, what have you heard about what the Times did to try to reach Woody Allen ahead of time, and about why they ultimately decided to publish this long rebuttal in the paper this weekend?
Well, it's important, Brian, for the sake of context. It's not just the Los Angeles Times that didn't want to publish this. It's also actually the New York Times editorial board, the editorial page itself did not want to publish this.
Yes, you broke this news on Friday that they received the letter as well and decided not to publish it, right?
Right. So what our sources at the Times told us is that what happened is they wanted to pass on it, and essentially Nick Kristof, a friend of the family, stepped in and said, "Okay, I'm going to publish it. I'll publish the full letter on my blog, and I'll address it in my column." And I think Robin's point is absolutely right. Is that really the place for this battle to be playing out, this sort of personal family drama to be playing out? And now it's forced the New York Times to have to address this issue and to say, okay, if we let Nick Kristof publish that piece, then we have to let Woody Allen publish this piece.
Is there an argument to be made that the New York Times should have waited until they had some sort of publishable response from Woody Allen? Or, Robin, does that put the Times in a very difficult place because, well, this is a person alleging sexual assault. If the alleged assaulter isn't going to comment, that's not their fault.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And I think what you see in Dylan's letter is she is inviting opinion and debate on an issue that for her, there is no other opinion or no debate on it. This is what she calls her truth and her facts. And of course, Woody Allen, I have to say, I'm not sure, what favor he did himself with his long essay in the New York Times the other day. I think, a really mature human being would have simply said, I love my daughter, I wish her the best, I did not molest her. Instead, he used it as an opportunity to attack Mia Farrow. So now you've got the whole family involved again. People magazine got in on the act, interviewed Moses Farrow. Dylan Farrow's response to that was, my brother is dead to me. You've got this just extraordinary scene of family dysfunction and meltdown playing out really, for the prurient interest of the public. The important thing is that Dylan Farrow's family believes her and they support her, and that's all really that matters.
My producer pointed out before the show, this is the kind of thing that would normally be playing out in a therapist's office. It's so strange to see it playing out in newspaper columns. But I wonder if this says something about our age that we're in. Robin, do you think there's a broader takeaway to all of this?
No, I think it's very simple. I think the fact that you've got two
Very
high-profile
isolated?
people, Woody Allen and Mia Farrow involved, guarantees that the public will continue to have prurient interest in their sex lives, the dysfunction of their lives, their personal family meltdown. And that's unfortunate, but that is the world that we live in.
Brian, if I may,
yeah,
it's important to remember that there are two other things going on at the same time that this is happening. And these allegations, these charges are not new. These are very old. So why are they cropping up right now? Two reasons. One, Woody Allen is obviously in the limelight for the Golden Globes honor as well as the forthcoming Oscars. I would also just point out that Ronan Farrow has a new show on MSNBC. We know that Ronan Farrow was the one who actually mitigated the meeting between Dylan Farrow and the Los Angeles Times editorial page. So you sort of have to wonder, why is this coming up now, and does it have anything, I'm not saying, I'm not siding with one side or the other, I'm just saying, does it have anything to do, A, with an attempt to sort of take down Woody Allen, and B, with an attempt to sort of cast more light on another member of the family who has a new show coming?
As we wrap up, Dylan, I wonder if you've sensed any idea there's any regret at the New York Times about how this went down. Of course, Nick Kristof has declined to comment. He's declined any interview requests about this in the week since his first column came out. Have you sensed any regret over there at the paper about this?
Of course, and the way that I sense regret is through silence. I reached out to Andy Rosenthal, the editorial page editor, and Nick Kristof on Wednesday, on Thursday, on Friday, and didn't hear back from either of them. There's clearly some sort of tension going on over there over that decision.
Dylan, thank you so much. Robin, thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.